time it is!
Thank you once again for checking out the C-Squared Hour. I'm your host, Chris, as always, and I am finally back, people. I know I keep teasing you with an episode here and there, and you get all excited, and, well, this time it wasn't just me being a lazy douche, alright? This time there's real private life stuff happening that made doing this impossible, but I'm back, and barring any unforeseen issues, I'll be back forever just for you guys. Many of my listeners are probably wondering where my second mic, Chris, is. I guess, not second mic, co-host, Chris is. And this is kind of on me, folks. When this whole pandemic started and everything, I was trying to figure out how to short the commercial real estate market. You see movies, you hear about it on TV shows, and it can't be that hard. I was trying to figure it out. Well, Chris heard me talking about this, and so he talked to some people who actually know how to do it. That being said, it turns out, once again, I was dumbass wrong. Once again, I had a prediction, and I was exactly wrong. I've made a lot of predictions, alright? And even the ones that aren't a hit or miss, like aren't one way or the other, I have been the exact opposite of right every time. I must have one of the cloudiest crystal balls ever. No, yeah, every prediction I made. So I talked, you heard me talk about shorting the real estate market. Well, it turns out companies aren't all that keen on having all their employees work from home still. Now they can get it back in the office, they kind of want that leash back on them, regardless of what it means. So all my predictions about how the commercial real estate market is gonna tank, and how this is the time to figure out how to do this and get yourself into another one of those movies, another Christian Bale, why can't I think of that fucking word? Every goddamn episode, there's always one word. I forget, the supercast or whatever. Some stupid fucking word I always forget. And I don't know. Star-studded. I don't know. Super, we had Brad Pitt. Anyway, I'll wait for that movie to come out in 15 years. The how the commercial real estate market folded. But once again, dead backwards wrong. So, Chris actually went to do that. So, he's going to be gone for a while. Not only trying to fix his financial portfolio, because I guess that got all messed up when he took my advice. Idiot. He also may be looking to sue me for it. So, we'll see how that goes. Again, not personal. He called me about it, said, hey, I might be suing you, and then, invited me for a drink. It wasn't that big of a deal, so it's just one of those, might sue you, but I'll be back someday. So he should be back next week, after he figures out his portfolio. I do wish him all the best, especially since it's mostly my fault. And I don't think this would be a very good episode if I didn't start it out by saying, Randy, still waiting. The challenge is still there. Let's lace them up, buddy. I've given numerous reasons. All of those reasons by themselves are good enough to really, drop the mitts or lace them up, as I say. It depends what sport you're talking about. But and there's always other reasons. There's always other, stupid shit. Here might be the best one. Because you've been putting this off so long, and because of how long you've been ducking me, now I look like an unoriginal douche. Because of all these celebrity fights and all these celebrity boxing matches and all these things that are coming along. And it's like, look, oh, I'm just trying to jump on the bandwagon. No, anyone who knows me, anyone who knows everything, I've been trying for years to get you to fucking fight me. I have all these reasons, and you won't do it. And now, I just look like some guy who's trying to be the fucking next Lamar Odom, or... Yes, Lamar Odom fought Nick Carter in a celebrity boxing match. You probably didn't know that, nor should you have. People are probably thinking, like, hey, look at this guy just trying to jump aboard that. No. So, keep ducking me, Randy. Make me look like an asshole. Or, if you're going to duck me long enough, this fad will be over, and then I'll look original again, or trying to bring something back, trying to go for this nostalgia factor. But let's lace them up, bud. The offer's there. It's been there for months, years. Let's do it, buddy. I'm willing to give you as much training time as you need. Let's do it. Is everyone else holding their breath too? Just waiting for it to happen when I'm able to, rent out a park gazebo to host all 12 people who are going to come watch it. I think the biggest question I came up with during my slight hiatus. Well, here, I'll preface it by saying this. Two of the most interesting people / sociopaths / whatever you want to call them. I don't know how to define them. I don't know any of that, but look at these two names. Ted Bundy, noted serial killer, and some would say a solid 7.5 in the prison dorms. I don't know what the fuck that means. And L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the Church of Scientology. What the fuck did the Tacoma Boy Scouts do to these people? Both of them. L. Ron Hubbard was the youngest Eagle Scout ever, and he did it in the Tacoma Boy Scouts. According to the documentary on Netflix, Ted Bundy was in the Tacoma Boy Scouts. What the fuck is going on in that? Again, you are in Tacoma. You're already behind an 8 ball, so to speak. But what? Again, I'm going to, once again, little context for you. I'm going to look something up and then never mention it again. But I would like to see who else was in the Boy Scouts in Tacoma. Because if you get two of possibly the strangest minds in the last century, if not ever, I don't know. If you get them both coming out, that seems like an odd coincidence. We already know the Boy Scouts were a fucking mess. Are the Boy Scouts still a thing? I know they got their ass sued off based on a bunch of other shit, but... Well, based on all that... Look. So, I don't know if they're sued out of existence or if they're just still around. I'm really shocked, though. You would think you get someone to sign up to go camping with a bunch of younger boys that they don't know. You think not all their intent, and for some reason, not all of their intentions were on the up and up. You mean some creeps got into the Boy Scouts because it's like it was invented for that, for fuck's sakes. So not to mention all the stupid shit that went on, the Penn State training ground, the whatever you wanted to call it. The Tacoma Boy Scouts pumped out these two names. I don't know what happened there. What's going on there? And is that just the tip of the iceberg? Ted Bundy and L. Ron Hubbard, both out of the same city, Boy Scouts, obviously decades apart, but that's neither here nor there. Who the fuck knows? That seems too perfect to be coincidental. Not only is it a weird town, so you wonder if is it the weird town? Is it the weird club that these people join and has gotten in quite a bit of trouble lately for something that probably should have seen coming? Is it both? Is it a combo? Is it just dumb luck? I don't think it's dumb luck. There's no way you have L. Ron Hubbard and Ted Bundy have that pivotal of a youth experience and not have some sort of, I don't know. Anyway, if the Boy Scouts are still around, Tacoma, tighten your ship up, alright? I know the whole organization has to if they're going to stick around, if they didn't get sued out of existence, or if they're still going to run. But Tacoma, you got to watch yourself, alright? You got a guy who is a mass murderer who breaks out of prison twice, and you have a guy who started possibly one of the goofiest religions ever. Well, mostly because it started by a guy who you can actually talk to, whose voice is actually recorded. But Tacoma Boy Scouts, if you come back, if you're still around, tighten your shit up. What else happened? Oh, yeah. So, I've been talking a lot about it lately. The sports illuminati. They got a couple more. Trevor Bauer, pitcher for the Dodgers, has been becoming, kind of a name. Kind of a, you see Trevor Bauer's name pop up, maybe even more than the Dodgers team. All of a sudden, he has to take a leave of absence because of some accusations. Richard Sherman, also very loud character, very outspoken, very what have you. Now they got him. They got him on a video camera and all that stuff. So he's in trouble now. And I'm telling you, the sports illuminati does not like players being bigger than the Shield. And I'm not saying that they're setting these up. I'm not saying that these are lies or that they're fake videos or whatever. What I'm thinking is there's a lot more of this shit that happens behind the scenes. There's a lot more of this criminal and civil stuff that gets pushed under the rug or that gets swept aside, unless the sports illuminati think you are becoming bigger than the Shield. If you're becoming bigger than the Shield, hey, guess what? All those things we covered up, the next one we aren't covering up. And so we're just seeing what's been covered up. Although the Trevor Bauer one seems like there might be a lot to do about nothing, but that's just the articles I read. And Richard Sherman it looked like just got drunk and went nuts. But I'm telling you, if they were just a little quieter, I bet these issues could have been swept under the rug too. Just saying that. I'm not an expert, alright? I haven't infiltrated the sports illuminati as of yet. I'm not sure where to start. I'm not sure what league to start, really. You would think the NFL, they own a day of the week, but you think baseball's been around so long, and there's all that, and again, baseball almost sunk its own ship because they were tired of the Barry Bondses. They let that book come out just because we're tired of these big names Sammy Sosa's, the Mark McGuire's, they were really tired of all that sort of stuff, so they almost sank their own ship with the steroid scandal. I'm telling you, there's a lot to be weary of. And Sherman, Bauer, they got you too. One less interview, one less tweet, and these issues would have been swept under the rug too. But you didn't quite make it. It's okay. It's going to be fine, guys. You're going to do what you need to do and get back there and whatever. Whatever comes of it, Richard Sherman appears to have a lot less of a leg to stand on than Trevor Bauer because the Sherman video is a little rough, but what I will say is whatever home that was purchased, I don't know if it was purchased for the in-laws family or whatever, that is a real solid front door because he lowered his shoulder into that a lot. And I don't care if he's not one of the biggest hitters in the NFL. If an NFL player is putting his shoulder that many times, that hard, into a structure, the fucker should at least bend a little bit. And that thing didn't move. So, job well done on whoever constructed that home and door frame. Job well done. Let's watch it. I have a little bit of a dilemma. All right. You hear me talking about the Illuminati and all these fucking conspiracies I have and what have you, and I just think I'm just a normal guy with his eyes wide open, right? Well, I'm watching a lot of intervention. For some reason, it just, I don't know, it's just something to watch. It's not something to watch. It's like, I don't know, I need this, or I don't know. Anyone who watches intervention knows what the fuck I'm talking about, all right? You don't watch it for fun. You don't watch it to get anything out of your life. You watch it because who knows? Anyway, there's this girl who was really, going down a bad path with meth and meth psychosis, and what scared me is the bitch kind of made sense. She's talking about Sacramento Illuminati in conjunction with Tom Hanks trying to keep her on drugs because whatever, half the words you couldn't understand what she was saying, but I have never been more scared watching a daytime TV rerun than I have today. There's two things. Either I'm slowly slipping into psychosis, and this whole thing with the sports Illuminati, that part, it fix right in. Hey guys, that goes right into it. Maybe I'm slowly slipping there. Maybe I'm already there. Maybe, just maybe, I would absolutely love meth. Maybe it would do for me what like LSD has done for people on or peyote on the Spirit Quest or something. Maybe meth would be my LSD. Because if this, I don't know if she was normal beforehand or what have you, but if this seemingly normal gal could do a little bit of meth there here and there, and then get to these things about Sacramento's Illuminati, and if I'm already close to those conspiracies, if I get myself some of that meth psychosis, I just wonder how great my conspiracy mind would be. And another scary part is, if I'm trying to, do some sort of thing with this whole, speaking to people over the computer and spouting off all my crazy shit, two things. Could it be beneficial for me to get a little bit of that meth psychosis so I could speak a little bit crazier about stuff? Two, if this turns into a real moneymaker for me, could I write the cost of my methamphetamines off on my taxes? I have a lot of questions coming up with this, and it's not real. Every question I'm coming up with when it comes to this, unfortunately, is all on the, like, hey, let's do meth side of things. And I think the only reason for that is because there's really only one argument you need about getting a little bit of that meth psychosis, and that is you'd have to do meth until you went psychotic. I think that's enough, but that's only one argument. If you put up a list, I'm talking about all these other reasons and all these other things. I don't know. If you look at the list, there's a 1 on the con side, and I just listed, 3, 4 on the pro side to get a little bit of that meth psychosis. So, who knows? I mean, if I was a true ganger and was going off the numbers, like, he's a big math guy. According to the math, I should be getting a little bit of that meth psychosis here. And as a businessman, makes sense too. But then there's the whole thing about you have to do enough meth to get some of that psychosis. So it's tough, but have people ever worried about me, even to the smallest fraction, when I start spouting off stupid shit like I do? The dumbass conspiracies I talk about. Because, I mean, they're all worried. They're calling the police. They're trying to get her committed and all this stuff. And I've said similar shit to what she was saying. To what this meth psychosis broad was saying. I've said similar things. Have people been worried enough? Like, has there been talks behind my back? Like, oh, well, this is really trying to scare him. I mean, he's talking about how, I even forget some of my scarier ones, which is probably why people aren't really scared, because I'm too fucking stupid to remember any of them anyway. See, I would talk about my mattress store conspiracy. Would talk about that again. I could talk about that till you're blue in the face. But I have a hard time thinking that's a conspiracy, and I think there's really something up there. All right? Something's up. My whole thing about parking meters, that could be, I have a whole thing about parking meters I'll get into later, but that could be on the psychosis side. But the furniture store, the mattress stores, trust me, something's up there. And now is this, see, here's the rabbit hole I go down to. Here's why this was the absolute worst episode of intervention I've ever seen. Not because of sadness, not because of how it turned out, because of what it did to me. And let's all be honest. I'm what's important. Right? Right? The only reason anyone should ever go through an intervention is for my entertainment. So, God, that's kind of mean. God, that came off bad, didn't it? Now I'm paranoid that people have been talking behind my back saying, oh shit, some of these conspiracies, they're pretty bad. Do we need to have them committed? Do we need to have a fucking test? Or do we need to have... It's a little bit concerning now. Again, they're all worried about her talking about Tom Hanks and all sorts of prescription drugs and all this stuff, when I've said crazier shit. In fact, they were worried she was yelling in a parking lot at it. I've yelled in worse places than parking lots about the shit. I just want everyone to know, well, this whole conversation about the meth psychosis and all that, what I really want to have come across on it is, if you guys are worried about me, thank you. You're so sweet. Going away from meth psychosis and into real Illuminati stuff, Bill Cosby got out since my last episode. Ho-ho. The cause is loose. Hot damn. You may talk about, and I don't disagree. All right, I don't that African Americans, minorities are locked up exponentially more than Caucasians. I will give you that. All right, but when it comes to rich, I don't know if you look at the time in sports and in comedy, there are really no bigger names than OJ and Cosby, and they both managed to skate. So I don't know if that's the Illuminati trying to throw a bone, like, hey, two of your biggest celebrities, will take care of them for you. Just let's ignore the kneeing on the back of the heads a little bit, huh? Or is this another situation, same like OJ, where he was so crossed over into mainstream culture, or not necessarily mainstream culture, but quote unquote white culture, that, like, oh, no. You guys, you're not African Americans when it comes to this. No, you're not black guys on trial. No, you're one of us. So we may not be able to just straight up get you the same courtesy that we give rich white guys. But you know what? You're still gonna get a little of that piece of the old rich white guy treatment when it comes to court. I don't know. Apparently Cosby was loved in prison, so I mean, maybe it would have been a good place for him to spend his golden years. Maybe that might have been I don't know. What this comes down to, and the reason that he got out is basically, from my dumbass legal knowledge, basically the prosecutor used information that was in a deposition that he wasn't Mirandized in, that couldn't be brought into court. He somehow snuck it into court, and so then it got appealed. And really, I'll talk all day about these stupid conspiracy. I'm done with the word conspiracy. I gotta think of another word, because I've said that word way too fucking much in this episode. But I'll talk to you all day about the Illuminati and about how the cause and OJ got treated differently because of the whole crossing over into quote unquote white culture. What this should really show you: prosecutors are cunts. Prosecutors are cunts. There is, and everyone, well, defense attorneys. No, defense attorneys are there to level the fucking playing field. How many sneaky defense attorney things do you hear about? Not that much, but with when it comes to prosecutors, you hear about this shit all the time. This is the prosecutor trying to get his numbers. You have what was it? MUFON, whatever. MUFON is the UFO reporting. I don't know. The Duke Lacrosse guy, he fucked everything up. Fucking your vice president, Kamala Harris, came from prosecution. She hid evidence in death penalty cases. She locked up people the way that they're trying to fix and everything. All you really need to know about this whole Cosby thing: prosecutors are cunts. That's it. I've watched Law and Order since I can remember. I remember used to watching it and like, oh, look at that crazy twist. And, oh, how is old Eyebrows McCoy going to get past this one? And he does. I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I rewatch it now. I'm like, what the fuck? How is any of this okay? You're going to trick people. You're going to hide stuff. You're going to... If you watched Law and Order with any regularity in, say, 15 years ago or earlier, and you haven't watched any of the reruns, I'm talking about the real Law and Order, not the fake garbage that they push across. That's right, SVU's garbage. If you can watch that today and have the same reverence and have the The same idea that old McCoy in the prosecutor's office, that they're the good ones. If you could still think that, something's up, I tell you. You know, the rust is coming off a little bit. I'm feeling better. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm feeling a little better as I'm going forward. Big question, going back to the intervention, because I could go off on the whole Cosby thing and all my thoughts around that and everything going on there, but really don't want to get myself in that much trouble yet. Going back to Miss Meth Psychosis, she did say another thing that I'm very curious about. Oh, they just said NHL. They just said hockey player comes out as gay, but no, it's not an NHL player. It's a guy who's in the Nashville system. Which is fine. I don't know. Who gives a shit? Not that who gives a shit. That came off of callous, but no, it's good. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna say an NHL player, like, make sure it's an NHL player. Don't, it's gonna be easier to hide or push him away or try to blame a distraction with a guy who's in the system and is not in the NHL. It's going to be easier to do it that way. So, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's awesome. It's great. Let's cool our jets about how great, how awesome it is just yet. Let's see what happens with his career going forward. That dude, I think he was on the Rams, who just came out. That's going to be the case study, because he's already on the roster. He's already making, so we'll see how that goes. That's the case that he won. Anyway, got distracted there again, as I tend to do. Miss Meth Psychosis said something very interesting to me, and I had never heard this, and this could be because I am more of a jugga-ho than a juggalo. I'll own it. During one of her meth psychoses, she announced that it was Feed a Juggalo Red Lobster Day. Is that a thing? That should be a thing. That sounds like a thing. It sounds fucking awesome. What if it's a thing or not? It sounds cool as shit. Feed a Juggalo Red Lobster. Now, Feed a Juggalo Red Lobster. The issue I'm having with that is it's so specific that it has to be a thing, right? But then she was able to, even break down the Illuminati to Sacramento, so maybe her meth psychosis was that good where she can go Juggalo Red Lobster and even go there. So I should have probably looked it up before I went down this road, but if that's a thing, by God, any juggalos that want to meet up on Feed a Juggalo Red Lobster Day, by all means, because that seems like a day that's worth celebrating. I have heard much worse ideas. Honestly, with all the stupid fucking holidays they have out there, National Cut Your Grass with Scissors Day, or whatever they have going on out there, Feed a Juggalo Red Lobster Day, not that bad at all. If any of my liberal friends out there, a lot of juggalos come from lower class economical situations. It seems like maybe that's a better holiday than some of the shit you're trying to get pushed forward. Okay, maybe I was pushing it a little bit much there. I just want to know. Feed Juggalo Red Lobster Day. I sure as fuck hope it's a thing. What's the other big news I wanted to talk about? See, this is a lot of shit happened since my last episode, but this is just kind of stuff that's, evergreen, if you will, or something that, whatever. Another thing that happened, the NCAA agreed to go to the Olympic model for allowing players to make money off their name without using the school and without using whatever. They can use their likeness and their name, but they can't use the school. Well, you're only about 15 years too late. It's great. It's finally good. You finally got it right. You finally figured it out. Unfortunately, you are too late. There's already been the Northwestern already did that whole thing. There's already been the thing going on in California, but with the governor down there, who knows what the fuck's going to go on with California. Good job, NCAA. You did what you should have done, but you're too little, too late. Let's see if I can be... Let's see. The NCAA is always a step behind, so that should sound like not choosing adequate answers. Huh? Sorry. But yeah, the whole thing with the NCAA is they've made the right decision 10 years too late. The college football playoff. You decided to go to that, and you still half-assed it, but you decided to go to that 10 years after it was really needed. I don't know how it would happen or how quickly it would have to happen, but one of the big schools would have to really, or one of the big conferences would have to say, fuck this. But what would it take for college? I mean, because you have other colleges, the NAIA, that's the only one I know. The other college sports governing bodies, if you will. Just NCAA happens to be the biggest one and the best. But if you get like an Ohio State, if you get a Texas, if you get Miami, USC, if you get them to say, you know what, fuck the NCAA, we're going to go do our own thing, we're going to join up this, or we're going to start our own thing, would there be, how many of those schools would have to crumble before A, we get something better than the NCAA, or they finally say, all right, we're going to, unhook the leash a little bit. It's almost if it feels like the NCAA is basically trying to carry as many grocery bags in from the car as it can, and it's getting there, but the one bag on the end is starting to rip, and you're able to set that one down on the table, and you're able to keep walking wherever you need with these grocery bags, and then soon another one's going to start, Okay, not the best, but if you could think of a better analogy, you do this fucking job, alright? Fuckers. Well, I hate to end any episode. Yeah, this might be a little bit shorter. Fuck you. Shaking off the rust. Go fuck yourself. And I had real shit going on. None of the fake stuff I whine about. I had real stuff. That's why there's been a gap. So fuck you. All 6 of you. Fuck you. I'm gonna... I hate getting way too political to end this, but I'm gonna end with a PSA. Rob Riggle, enough. Just enough. You might be a funny guy. You might be worth every cent that they pay you to host dumbass game shows or to be the fourth goofy guy in a movie. You might be worth all of that. I'm not going to argue that. What I am going to say, however, is you have interrupted more of my dumbass videos and stupid YouTube videos and I have seen you break up more shit on that than anybody else. Anybody else. So, dude, you can't need the money that fucking bad. I would be willing to bet that any of my listeners, within the last 36 hours of listening to this, has opened up a YouTube video and started watching it, and halfway through, the ad's starting up, and it's his fucking face in the middle of it saying, oh, well, here's an ad for something else. Some sort of sock that pushes your big toe the right way or whatever. Too much, dude. Simmer. Calm it down. Step it back. All right? You got your hosting thing. I think you do stand up or did stand up, or tone it back. I would love to do a survey, and again, I'm not going to do it. But how many people find him humorous? How many people find him more humorous than annoying? That's probably a better question. More humor. I tell you what it is. He co-hosts, I forget whatever, some dumb game show on network TV. I'll tell you what it is. The people who watch that network TV stuff aren't seeing these YouTube videos or all this other shit where an ad would pop up that would annoy the fuck out of them. So basically, he manages to annoy the shit out of the people who aren't watching his stuff. But the people who are watching his stuff, they're not seeing all this annoying part. They're I don't know. I'm just saying, look, you might be a talented dude. You might be funny. No one's going to give a shit if you keep up with the amount and how many different mediums the commercials are on. That could be more of it. You could do as many fucking commercials as you want. Who gives a shit? Aaron Rodgers is doing a whole bunch of them. Whatever. It's the fact that too many of them are coming up on different... I'm seeing the same commercials going from YouTube, going to watch, I don't know, something on TV. I'm seeing them in too many different places is the problem. All right? And I'm telling you, I know for a fact, I don't know for a fact, I'm not clever and I'm not smart or original. So if I'm thinking this, I'm not the first one who said it. Like, really? A fucking another one, dude? Just stop. Please. Please. Remote control lawnmowers. Yeah, because us fat white people need one less thing to have to get out and do, right? Coming from a guy who hires a landscaping company. Alright, well, that's probably the end of what I have. I'm leaking oil anyway. So, thank you all for checking this out. Thank you for staying with me through my little hiatus, my long hiatus, whatever. I do appreciate it, even if I whine about how terrible I am and how much I hate my listeners. I do that. I'm the 8-year-old boy kicking sand in your face because I like you. That's what it is. All right. When I say my listeners are idiots or they're lazy or they don't do enough stuff, what I'm really saying is I have a crush on you. I have a crush on my listeners. All right. So don't take the shit personally. But no, thank you for sticking with me through this whole thing. Barring, this time I'm not even going to promise anything, barring any sort of family issues or anything along those lines, which is what prevented it this time, not what, it wasn't just my laziness this time. you will be seeing an episode a week in that area. What was I going to go through? Yeah, thanks for checking it out. Always, let Randy know he needs to lace them up. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, smash that like button. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you have to do on whatever platform you're watching. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. I have an email. I probably have, I don't know, something set up on the dark web. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so follow me there. Let me know if you guys... I'm starting to design merch. I'm not going to pull the trigger, however, until enough of you say you're going to want something. So, you better get to talking if you want something to wear. Or, I'm thinking maybe soap. Huh? Bring back bars of soap and have my face on it. The ideas never stop over here. All right. Well, again, thank you all for sticking with me on the C Squared Hour. I will see you all next time.